Paul Wesley has just revealed why he and Nina Dobrev didn't get along on the Vampire Diaries, and fans are in shock over the truth. For years, the fandom debated what really went down behind the scenes of the show that defined an era. Were the rumors of tension real? Were they exaggerated? Or was it just typical Hollywood gossip blown out of proportion? Now, Paul has finally admitted what happened, and his explanation is both brutally honest and surprisingly relatable. To understand why this revelation matters so much, we need to go back to the beginning. In 2009, the CW was in desperate need of a hit. The teen drama Gossip Girl was popular, but the network wanted something bigger, something that could compete with the massive global phenomenon that Twilight had created. Enter the Vampire Diaries. Loosely based on L.J. Smith's novels, the show had everything: supernatural romance, dark family secrets, and enough drama to hook audiences worldwide. The casting was critical. The entire show would rest on the shoulders of its lead couple, Elena Gilbert, the human girl at the center of the story, and Stefan Salvatore, the brooding vampire who falls for her. The network tested dozens of actors, but ultimately, Nina Dobrev and Paul Wesley were chosen. Nina, only 20 at the time, was fresh off Degrassi, The Next Generation. Paul, at 27, had been working steadily in TV but hadn't yet broken out as a household name. For both of them, this show was career-defining. And here's where the tension began. Both Nina and Paul knew how big this opportunity was. They knew they were about to be launched into stardom. The stakes couldn't have been higher, and that pressure can either bond people together or drive them apart. Paul recently admitted that, in those early days, he and Nina simply didn't get along. He described it not as hate, but as clashing personalities, creative differences, and the weight of responsibility. Nina liked structure. She wanted to rehearse, plan, and polish every detail of her scenes. Paul thrived on spontaneity. He wanted to let a scene breathe, to play it out raw, in the moment. On a set where emotions ran high, vampire love triangles, death scenes, and intense stunts, that difference in style caused real friction. He even recalled that production once had to stop filming and give them a half-hour break because their arguments were disrupting the shoot. Think about that. 2 of the main stars, whose entire storyline depended on their ability to sell a romance, needing a timeout just to cool off. It's the kind of behind-the-scenes drama that fans always suspected but never had confirmed, until now. But there's another layer to this. Paul confessed that fame was hitting him harder than anyone realized. At 27, he was suddenly in the spotlight in a way he'd never experienced. He admitted he didn't have much of a sense of humor about it back then. He was serious, maybe too serious, and he became defensive. It wasn't about disliking Nina personally. It was about how he was coping, or not coping, with the pressure of leading a hit show. Nina, years later, described her side of the story. In an interview, she said, "I respected Paul Wesley. I didn't like Paul Wesley. For the first 5 months of shooting, they just didn't get along. And yet, ironically, the tension somehow translated into undeniable on-screen chemistry. Fans fell in love with Elena and Stefan. Their romance felt real, raw, and captivating. Even though off-screen, the two leads were struggling just to tolerate each other. It's fascinating when you think about it. Could that friction have actually fueled their performances? Could the edge in their relationship have made their on-screen love story even more intense? Many fans believe so, pointing out that some of the most powerful Stefan and Elena scenes came during the time when Paul and Nina were clashing off-screen. Over time, though, things changed. Paul grew more comfortable with fame, Nina matured into her role, and slowly but surely, their working relationship transformed. By the later seasons, they had built a genuine friendship. Nina even clarified in later interviews that by the end of the series, she adored Paul. And Paul himself has said that today, he and Nina are close friends. They hang out, they laugh, they reminisce about the early days. What started as friction eventually turned into one of the strongest friendships to come out of the series. But that doesn't erase the fact that their rocky start left fans buzzing for years. Every time an interview dropped, fans dissected every word, searching for clues about the real story. Was Nina shading Paul? Was Paul avoiding talking about Nina? The fandom lived off those moments, and it became part of the lore of the show itself.
And the reactions to Paul's latest comments? Explosive. Social media lit up with fans posting things like, "Finally, the truth," and "So they didn't hate each other. They were just stressed young actors." Others said the revelation actually made them respect both Paul and Nina more because it showed how much professionalism it took to deliver incredible performances despite their differences. Some even joked that their feud deserved its own spin-off, given how dramatic it was behind the scenes. What makes this story so engaging isn't just the gossip. It's what it reveals about Hollywood, fame, and human relationships. Think about it. Nina was 20 years old, away from home, leading a major network series. Paul was 27, dealing with the sudden glare of international attention. Both were perfectionists, both cared deeply about their craft, and both were under insane pressure to deliver. It's no wonder they clashed. In fact, it's almost surprising they managed to reconcile it all. And yet they did. By the end of the series, Paul and Nina's friendship was real, deep, and genuine. That evolution from not getting along to building respect to becoming close friends mirrors the complexity of the characters they played. Life imitating art in the most unexpected way. The Vampire Diaries ended in 2017 after 8 seasons. Nina left after season 6, shocking fans, but she returned for the series finale in 2017. And when she did, it was clear that any tension between her and Paul was long gone. Their on-screen reunion felt like a gift to fans, and behind the camera, they had nothing but love for each other. Looking back now, Paul's confession isn't just a juicy piece of gossip. It's a reminder that behind every glossy TV show, behind every iconic romance, are real people. People who clash, people who grow, and people who find their way back to friendship. For fans, it adds a whole new layer to rewatching the Vampire Diaries. When you see Elena and Stefan's early scenes, you now know that Spark wasn't just acting, it was charged by real-life tension. And when you watch their later moments, you can see the genuine warmth that came after years of learning to understand each other. So, Paul Wesley has revealed why he and Nina Dobrev didn't get along. It wasn't about hate. It wasn't about drama. It was about pressure, personality, and the struggle of two young actors navigating a whirlwind of fame. And in the end, it's a story of growth, respect, and lasting friendship. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.